and I will conclude that all of the ahadith from the Ahlul Bayt that we have in our books are reliable and authentic, and not just authentic, like these are the words of the Imam alayhi. The mujtahids classify the ahadith into 4 categories: sound, good, reliable, and weak. Right? So Sahih and Hasan and Muwathaq, and you will realize that there is no longer much need of ilm al-rijal at that point. And these Akhbari ulama would bring their arguments against ilm al-rijal. They will say, why do you need ilm al-rijal? Ilm al-rijal was needed to verify if a hadith is authentic or not. We already know the ahadith in these books are authentic. So it doesn't matter if the person narrating is a trustworthy person or a liar, or he's been accused of X, Y, Z. Is Allama Majlisi an Akhbari scholar or an Usuli scholar? And this is a confusing topic. And there are some books written about this. Allama Majlisi writes a book, a commentary on Usul al-Kafi called Mirat al-Uqul. And in this commentary, he always grades the narrations. So remember, Samahiji just said the Usuliyun, the Mujtahideen, they grade the narrations. They say the narration is either authentic or good or reliable or weak and so on. So Samahiji is saying the Akhbaris don't do this. The Mujtahideen do this. But Allama Majlisi, in his commentary on Usul al-Kafi, he does this. He grades the narrations and then he gives a commentary on them. So why is Allama Majlisi doing this? If he has everyone in this camp that I'm going to mention attributes their approach to the Qudama. So that's not, even Amin Astarabadi, the Akhbari, he says this is how the Qudama were. They were all Akhbaris. So every camp will do that. So if you pay attention, you're going to notice that they find their credibility in attributing their approach to. I remember I asked him about a very famous Ghali, very famous individual from the head. He was the head of the Ghulat. And I said to Sayyid Hussein, I said, what about the narrations of Al-Asam al-Basri? He's like, yeah, even these are reliable. Why? Because they were documented in a masdar, in a book. And we know that book is reliable, and we can find in that same transmission other reliable people transmitting that book, meaning they all believe this was a reliable, authentic book. Meaning, look, book, not the hadith. Why is he being so dogmatic? You can express your opinion in a little bit less dogmatic way. You can say, hey, there are some scholars who have entertained certain ideas, but this is my argument. And you can say this is the argument of the majority. That's fine. But if the whole argument that he made was based on the premise that Ibrahim bin Hashim came to Qom, well, here's an entire book where Sayyid Hussein Shirazi, a staunch proponent of the authenticity of majority of, if not all of the narrations, saying the whole thesis is Ibrahim bin Hashim never came to Qom. So that entire argument, Fihristi. So this scholar, okay, Mahdi Khudamiyan, has written a basic like a fiqh book, this is like a typical fiqh book where you kind of look at the fatwa, you go through the ahadith, you try to prove the fatwa and so on. Using the narration went to Qom, Naishapur and Ahwaz. How did it go to Qom, Naishapur? So let's just stick to this one, right? The Hamad bin Isa one. So he says Ibrahim bin Hashim. Okay, same Ibrahim bin Hashim that we talked about, who was originally from Kufa. He heard the hadith from Hamad bin Isa, and he carried the book of Hamad bin Isa and he transferred the book to Qom. This is on the assumption that he moved to Qom and all of that.